This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
The numbers told the story, they always do.
It's one of those idiots who believe in analytics.
This is a numbers game with Gill Alexander on VSiN.
Good Monday morning. Tune in. It's a numbers game with VSiN, the Sports Betting Network, VSiN.com, Game Plus, iHeartRadio, YouTube TV, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 158. However you're taking us in, we are sincerely grateful. It's Gill Alexander, and that right there, ladies and gentlemen, is the triumphant return of Kelley Bydlon. In his seat, in his proper seat.
Let's go. Football's allowed to start now.
Allowed to start.
I'm back.
Now that you're back?
Yep. Football's allowed to start.
How was Nash Vegas?
Nashville was awesome, by the way. I was
great town. You've been there before?
No, I never had.
Oh.
Never been there before. There for, what, 5 days? 4 or 5 days? 5 days. Was awesome. Awesome nightlife. Awesome music. Not just country music. It's just great to see live music everywhere.
Yes. It's
awesome food.
I went there 3 times in a span of a year when I was in my 1 year of country music radio back in there. Just fantastic town.
Yeah,
every which way.
And they do it kind of, Vegas does too, right? Just so well with like the knowing there's going to be 1 billion people here and how do we handle it. It always impresses me when cities do that better than others.
It's kind of a perfect place for the NFL draft when they had it
really
there.
Was, yep. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Sweet tea, abundant, wherever
that's
you
for
go.
sure. Yep.
You could certainly order that.
Good barbecue, hot chicken, all that stuff.
Great place to live. Our buddies Adam Stanko lives there. He's never looked back. Was in the Bay Area for his whole life. He was like, Nashville, I'm never leaving.
Oh, my only complaint, it was so hot. Like it was.
Oh, meaning humid.
Yeah, they had like a heat wave going on, so it was like 105, Gill, with the humidity. You have never seen someone from Las Vegas complain about the heat as much in Tennessee in the middle of the summer as I was. That's for sure.
Now ask me how my weekend was.
How was your weekend, buddy?
What's the quickest you've ever read a book, like a 350-page book?
That's a great question. Probably some deadline in school back in the day, the day before.
Well, I guess there's a sort of deadline of sorts on this show this week. So I read the book Odds Man Out, which is Jay Cohen's book that just came out a few months ago. Jay Cohen, for those who don't know, not sure if you're aware of who this is, Jay Cohen was one of the 3 founders of the World Sports Exchange, with so many of our listeners here to this show used back in the day, who are of a certain age, used back in the day, really the pioneers of, they weren't the first gambling company online, but they were the one who innovated the most, and they were the revolutionaries. Jay, along with his two cohorts, worked in San Francisco at the Pacific Stock Exchange, and they came up with the idea to start this book in Antigua. Everything you see now from prediction markets, just on the basic level.
I mean, we've talked. You've talked a lot about this before.
Is from them, right? They did it 30 years ago. The notion of cash outs, which we have now, they didn't have a cash out button, but you could cash out. They did live betting innovators. In addition to everything you see in prediction markets now. Anyway, I say all this to say, this book, Kelley, I didn't do it in one sitting. I did it in 2 sittings. Like Saturday and Sunday, 350 pages. I could not put it down because I was familiar with the story, but I wasn't familiar with the story, right? There's so many details in there. And I say all this to say, Jay Cohen will be on the show this Thursday with Crack.
Fantastic.
Courtesy of the Crack man, Bill Krackenberger. Jay Cohen will be on the show on Thursday. And I got so many questions, and I'm so pumped to have him on.
That'll be great. That'll be great chat.
To this day, not allowed on American soil. He had something to do with that by renouncing his citizenship, but yeah, he is not allowed to come back. So we'll have him from, I believe he's in Eastern Europe, and ask him a bunch of questions, some of which will not be that friendly in terms of how he may take them, right? Because I have to ask him hard questions as well. Because a lot of people who listen to this show not only played at World Sports Exchange, they might have gotten stiffed at World Sports Exchange. So we got to talk about that as well. But it's just a remarkable story. If there was ever a human being railroaded by the confluence of professional sports league and government and law, hard pressed to name someone more than him.
Just so, I mean, there's so many examples, though, of just like, and that's one of them of what if this occurred at a different time in history, right?
Yes, of course. And now he's his life sentence is to watch the very same people who went after him profit in the billions, if not trillions. You know, being in bed with gambling companies, talking about the leagues, and then, of course, all these other companies who, to your point, 30 years later, different ballgame. I mean, this is the whole thing with, like, you know, you could say this in other industries too, right? Napster and the revolution of online music companies in the early part of the century, and now what record companies were okay with now that they weren't then, they weren't ready for then. I mean, it's an amazing story. There is breaking news this morning, and I'm not talking about the Astros firing their GM, which is something with 5 weeks left in the season. The one game below 500 Astros, who are tied for the lead in the AL West. I am actively rooting for a losing record team to win the AL West. Actually, I'm not, because I have a Rangers over, so never mind. Take that back. But the big...
I am then.
What's that?
All right, I am then.
Yeah. But the big breaking news this morning, I don't know how big it is, but the breaking news is, and this is according to Jordan Schultz, who got this first via the Schultz report, Schultz_report on Twitter. The Browns are officially naming, Todd Monken has made his decision. Browns are naming Deshaun Watson as their starting quarterback per multiple sources. Shedeur Sanders will be the backup. By the way, neither will play in the Browns' third preseason game. Dylan Gabriel will get the start there. But as far as the regular season, Kelley, this is what I was saying the whole time, right? As the odds came down, because this was something you could bet on. Mm-hmm. And it was a curious thing because we did it several times. We did heat checks on, you know, who would be the starting quarterback of teams all throughout the summer, multiple teams. And I always said it's going to be Deshaun Watson because it doesn't make sense to do it the other way. Just from an arc of a season, you don't want to start the kid, have Shedeur mess up, and then go to Deshaun Watson. It's much more comfortable having the return of Deshaun Watson from injuries, plural, Achilles, shoulder. By the way, 2 Achilles surgeries, not just one, right? Famously here on the show, he said, well, there's only one thing, a setback on Achilles surgery. That means you re-ruptured it, and that was in fact the case. Coming off injuries, coming off the field scandal. It's much easier that if he has trouble, to take him off the field and then go with Shedeur. Shedeur can come on with his cape on. Mm-hmm. And as far as the preseason performance this past weekend, because Deshaun, you know, you look at the box score. By the way, the Browns have gotten beaten by 24 points 2 straight weeks. I know preseason scores don't really matter.
That is pretty incredible, though.
But you got beat by the Bears by 24 and the Bills by 24. But in the first week, if you look at the box score, Deshaun's box score is better than Shedeur, but a lot of that was one pass. I think it was to Dylan Sampson, and he went 43 yards with it. So it wasn't really Deshaun so much. This week, Shedeur kind of outplayed him.
Shedeur 9 for 11, 74 yards, a touchdown and a pick. Deshaun Watson 5 for 12 for 36 yards, 1 pick.
Not good, Bob.
No.
Not good.
Not great. I don't know about you, Gill. This would have been, like you said, we kind of saw this coming. We thought we did for a long time.
It had gotten down, by the way, betting odds before you continue. Deshaun got down to minus 130 as the starter.
So this is where I was going to go with this. For Friday, right? Before this game, if you had told me we were sitting here today talking about this, I wouldn't have been shocked at all. But then this game occurs. Deshaun Watson speaks afterward, which was not a good idea.
That's a whole other
We'll
thing.
get to that at some point here. He speaks, and these odds plummet. I mean, this becomes basically a coin flip on who's going to be the week 1 starter. And then Todd Monken, very aware, I think, that he was going to announce Deshaun Watson today, tried to walk that back a bit. Like, just because one guy said in front of a microphone isn't going to affect this decision. I felt it got way more entertaining to me over the weekend. I was very excited to talk about this morning.
What you are referring to, for those who missed it, is that Deshaun got booed.
Yeah.
First home game, right, of any kind since the injuries. Got booed and then had a press conference afterwards where he used the word that was disrespectful. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do we have the audio on that?
Yeah, we do.
Oh, we do. Here we go.
I think you guys know too, and I think the whole world knows. It has nothing to do about the performance. It's a little bit personal than that. So I think it's a disrespectful thing. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep whatever I feel with me and my family internally on how I feel about that. And yeah, just move on.
But don't you think, Deshaun, that winning and playing better would eliminate some of that booing?
Last time I played on this field, I tore my Achilles. And that same fan base, they cheered when I got hurt. So does that have to do with, what does that have to do with anything about performance? When a person get hurt, especially for your own city, and they cheer.
Does any of that make you regret coming here?
No, I don't regret anything in my life. You know, I think the Lord put me through situations for a reason, so I don't regret anything.
Well, that doesn't sound very good, does it?
That does not sound great, Gill. That sounds like a relationship between a quarterback in a city that is going to be very hard to ever recover from if any of us thought there was a chance of that happening still.
And again, the elephant in the room, not again because we haven't mentioned it, but the obvious elephant in the room has nothing to do with his performance or the Achilles injury. It has to do from the fact that stems from his massive 2021, 2022 civil lawsuits all against him and allegations brought by over 24 massage therapists regarding sexual misconduct. And so that does not sound like a very healthy relationship, but in case you missed it once again, the official announcement this morning, Deshaun Watson, no surprise to us here on a numbers game, Deshaun Watson, for reasons that I think you just from a how you manage a season standpoint, is going to be the starter week 1 for the Cleveland Browns. I think that was always going to be the case, but the relationship is brutal.
Over under 3.5 starts for Deshaun Watson.
Ooh, good number.
I think so. I think it is.
Right around there.
Okay.
It's right around there.
Under.
More Browns news on the other side. We'll update August in baseball as well. Next on A Numbers Game.
So you're listening to this podcast because you want an edge. But what if I told you you're only halfway there? You've got the mindset. Now it's time to get the toolkit to match it. Here's the thing. Pro bettors, they spend thousands on data and tools. But what they don't know and don't want you to know is that you can get the same edge for a fraction of the cost with VSiN Pro. With VSiN Pro, you're going to get access to expert picks, public betting data, prop projections, powerful tools, analytics, and so much more. Just tap the link in the description and see why thousands of bettors are already using VSiN Pro to cash more bets.
A Numbers Game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Hey, don't forget about our VSiN Pro intro offer. Check this out. Sign up now for as little as $9.99. Daily best bets, exclusive betting splits, full access to tools and data, all at vsin.com/subscribe. Next week, our updated NFL betting guide drops with post-preseason updates. How about that? 2.0.
Yeah, we got work to do.
Do we?
We got homework.
Oh, we got homework. Sign up today. You also get instant access to our college football betting guide, plus daily best bets, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, AI-powered prop projections, and 24/7 video on the VSiN Watch app. Start for as little as $9.99 or save 50% with a VSiN Pro annual subscription. Head to vsin.com/subscribe. Now that's VSIN.com/subscribe. We get tweets, bait of the book. Always appreciate it. This is, let's see, Scott Cupp, 55 years of Tennessee summers. Gotta love it. Smothering. That's for you, Kelley.
It was, Gill, I was there from Las Vegas. I had a friend there from Miami. We both couldn't shut up about how brutal it was.
Try growing up in a town that was built on a swamp with mosquitoes.
It was rough.
I couldn't go to D.C. in the end in the summertime. My mom, I regret it, right? Because my mom was like, "Oh, come visit." I was like, "It's July. I cannot." They're going to the mosquitoes call the airport to see if my flight arrives on time.
Yeah, man. Then I came back here and just sat at the pool in like 108-degree weather. It was great.
And you loved it.
I loved every second of it.
Shrek McPhee, happy U.S. Open draw week. LFG, yes it is. See if Drew, Zach, and I can't get together. Zach back from his vacation, his European vacation. U.S. Open draw on a Thursday. So we're going to try to do a pod on Friday.
Get up to Vegas, Zach. Come on. Need you live in studio. Drew's going to be here.
Drew's going to be here. Yeah. Chris Heath. Gil, you can talk about anything today as long as there's no mention at all of the VSiN NFL Futures Draft. Wait a minute. Kelley's here, so I'm not going to talk about it here.
How'd that go this time around?
It was great.
I'm legit ask. I didn't see a
we
second.
We had a great time.
I'm assuming Dustin did a wonderful job.
Dustin
as always.
was fantastic. He was fantastic. Ryan Thompson, did Deshaun Watson say he doesn't regret anything? Really? Nothing?
Yeah. Yes, he said that into a microphone.
I believe he did say that.
Recorded into a microphone, Deshaun Watson said he regrets nothing.
Someone stop him from talking.
Yeah, someone tackle that man.
Really? Do you think it was the Achilles? That's why they were booing you? James Sott, update Deshaun, it's all based on your performance, but glad you don't regret being a creep. James also asks, week 3 is first home game, so maybe over-under should be set at 2.5 games. Interesting comment.
Okay, I like that number. By the way, update on week 1, where I've had this game circled for roughly 3 months now, for Browns at the Jaguars. Market has not reacted to this news at all, Gil. 7.5 still and 40.5 your total.
That's how much you move the needle.
Yeah, exactly.
And Buddhist Man, best part of the World Sports Exchange experience was when they added their poker app. Sunday night after the last football game ended, there would be some wild big money shorthanded limit hold'em games. I made enough money in a month to buy a new car and put the down payment on my first house.
Nice.
Again, Jay Cohen from World Sports Exchange, one of the 3 founders of World Sports Exchange, will join us on Thursday. That was the beauty of it, was the simplicity of it. Like there was no bells and whistles. In the 90s, when you had all those offshore books, it was nothing but pop-ups.
Yeah.
Just pop-ups everywhere. Not World Sports Exchange. It was just like, what you see is what you get. We're going to make it as easy to use as possible, which was kind of a stroke of genius at that time. I mentioned before the break, the Browns, here's more Browns news. It's not really Browns news so much as it is a player who was suited up for the Browns this past weekend. For those who missed it, the NCAA instituted the new 5-for-5 age-based eligibility model in June. I think I was on vacation when they did it. Maybe it was right before I went on vacation. But they basically did it to modernize its chaotic framework and to eliminate subjective red shirts and hardship waivers and combat a wave of antitrust lawsuits. In the era of NIL, this just became more ridiculous, right? And the whole notion of 4-season rules were sort of rendered obsolete. So you basically had this situation now where this was supposed to be instituted, the 5-for-5, starting next season. And a bunch of players are like, hey, wait a minute, why should it start next year? So they filed a lawsuit, and that says that basically granted most Division I athletes 5 years of eligibility or 5 years, but doesn't take effect until next season. They basically said, hey, what about us? Why can't those of us who started in the 2022 season, why can't we sort of grandfather into this? Why can't we get in the middle of this before next season?
Right.
There was a 10th Circuit Court of Appeals ruling this past Friday morning reversing the federal judge's decision that had opened the door for all those athletes who started college in the 2022-23 academic year and played for 4 consecutive seasons to return for a 5th season. But that stay does not wipe out the cases of dozens of athletes who successfully petitioned for it already for the restraining orders to play a 5th season in state courts around the country. Long story short, then, here we have the Cleveland Browns, and it's just an amazing story because this is so trippy. Daquan Wright, who put on a Browns uniform, did not play this past weekend, but put on a Browns uniform. He is set to go back to school and to play at LSU. He played at Ole Miss right under Lane Kiffin. Mm-hmm. Todd Monken said, I got a call from Lane Kiffin this week, and I didn't pick up the phone. Maybe I should have. Now I get it. And even Todd Monken is, I think appropriately so, he's like, wow, is this the weirdest thing ever? It is. Like, we've never seen this in our lives of North American sports. But that's the case now. So Daquan Wright going back to school, and that's sort of the first player that has has gotten in the restraining order. The stay is going to take place in effect now, but the players who petitioned for it already, who started in 2022, they actually have the option to go back. So he's the first.
I mean, this was 100% or mainly all his call, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, he didn't play, right? Didn't play in the first 2 preseason games, hadn't practiced in more than a week.
Yeah, the coaches say all the right things about him. Oh, he's on a good trajectory. He was like, I'm going back to school. I'm going to go play for Lane now at LSU.
Man, it's crazy. I remember I was all freaking out about the G Leaguer who was going back to, what was it, Alabama or Arkansas? I can't even remember anymore. This is like that 10X. Like, this is an NFL player going back to college. He was practicing against NFL players.
It's Fantastic.
Well,
what a world.
Once again, Gill, I will raise my hand and say I was one of these people screaming for years that these kids needed to get paid in college. Never once did I claim to have all the answers and have it all figured out, okay?
They don't have any answers.
They sure don't.
They haven't figured out anything.
This is getting messier and messier.
We got 2 tennis plays today for those who are into the Fakakta hardcourt tournaments that precede the U.S. Open. In other words, it's always D.C., Canada, Cincinnati, and then we think it's the U.S. Open next. It's actually not true. There's this weird week in between where the men are in Winston-Salem and the ladies are in Monterey. The ladies is actually a 500, not the worst thing in the world. By the way, congratulations to Artur Fils, who we'll do Country Clubbin because we're going to talk U.S. Open because we had breaking news on Friday when Yannick Sinner said he's not playing in the U.S. Open, so we'll update that. But congratulations to Artur Fils, who beat Francis Tiafoe in Cincinnati for the men's title. Coco Gauff beat Jesse Pegula for the ladies' title yesterday. So I've got 2 in Monterey, none in Winston-Salem, but I got 2 in Monterey today. Renata Sarasua, I believe, maybe you pronounce that. I don't know.
Nice.
Let's go with Sarasua. Renata Sarasua, plus 250 versus Clara Towson is the big dog play today. Love Sarasua's hardcore numbers. Clara Towson not having a good stretch of tennis. And then your girl, Diane Paris. Diane Perry. That's how it appears on your screen. Diane Paris, plus 135 versus Donna Vekic.
What is Monterey new? Winston-Salem, I feel like I always remember that. The oddity
always.
Of that right before the U.S. Open.
There was like a match fixer at Winston-Salem
That's
once upon a time.
Yep, that's right. Monterey, I don't remember that one.
I seem to remember Winston-Salem more, but Monterey's
But there
always
had to have
consistent.
been a women's tournament going on the whole time. So.
Yeah. So those are the 2 plays. Sarasua is a big dog. Paris as a not negligible dog either in her match. If you are down to play Fakakta tournament tennis right before the U.S. Open. MLB most wins month of August. Man, did the Tigers play crash and burn. Let's just start there. Now, here's the thing with the Tigers. The Tigers got swept by the Royals. I mean, that play looked great for 15 days, for half the month, and then crash. So we're done. And by the way, I said last week, I'm like, well, I think my August play is done, but at least those of you who have Tigers to like make the playoffs, you guys still have a shot? I'm not sure you have a shot at this anymore either. As far as August is concerned, how about a 9-game winning streak for the Phillies? 16-5 with a plus 44 run differential. Oh. They would be running away and hiding if it were not for the San Diego Padres, who are just 1 game back, 1 win back at 15-6. So for those who have the Phillies, I know Mark Borchard's play was the Phillies. So I hope, since I can't win, I hope Mark Borchard win.
Well, I'm actually still live.
What do you have?
I rarely play this. I followed your advice when you came on here and mentioned the Cubs, and I waited a few games in and jumped in on them.
Good
so I have them 8-1. It's not the sexiest number, and obviously work to do.
They're 3 wins back at 13-8. Red Sox, Cubs, Rays, Brewers, and Blue Jays all have 13 wins. 3 wins back of the Phillies. Yeah. Phillies look like a truck right now, though. Only a week's left worth, right? That's it. 7, 8 games, 6 games, 6, 7, 8 games left, depending on which team. Phillies and Padres right now looking at a mano-a-mano down the stretch in the month of August. Speaking of baseball, Greg Peterson with his Fab Five next on a numbers game at VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
A numbers game on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Sharp plays in full effect, unmatched transparency with records updated daily, AI betting analysis, real-time global betting info, and alerts directly from the pros. Scan the QR code for Mo. Sharpplays.com. Check it out. Chuckism 1. Although there's incredible shame in going to a massage parlor to get a happy ending, there is hope, a chance of becoming a quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. How about a starting quarterback, week 1 at Jacksonville? Torch D, the one who put the satin in your panties. So y'all see Brian Daboll tear through 3 different spittoons up in the booth last night? And Salad just had the 6 Titans under 6.5 wins. Oh, I missed all that. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see Daboll. I mean, I had that game on a TV on mute. I was just laughing because the Titans were pretty big favorites, right? And they threw out like all the starters, and oh my gosh, the Seahawks backups just went through them like Swiss cheese. They start like the first quarter.
I started watching Hard Knocks on people's recommendations. I got through 5 minutes and then.
Yeah, it's like this. Okay, you know my problems with Hard Knocks. Am I gonna love Mike McDonald? Because I already loved Mike McDonald before. I feel like that's all.
He's pretty likable.
That's all I'm hearing from people is like, "Oh man, Mike McDonald's such a genius. Like, he looks so great."
I got distracted. It's not that he didn't like it, but I'll try it back again.
Okay.
Yeah. Brian's breaking news and intel. Oh, thank you for this, Brian. He reminds us it used to be the New Haven WTA stop this week. That's right. New Haven. He says now it's Monterey and New Turney, Philadelphia WTA. When's the Philly WTA tournament? I was thinking about that the other day. Like, what big cities don't have the tennis tour?
Philly's a good one, yeah.
Seattle and Vancouver. Like, nobody. Does it rain too much up there? Is that why they don't have it? I don't know. Anyway, thank you,
Boston?
Brian. Yeah, there is no Boston stop.
No Boston? We can come up with a lot of these.
Well, New Haven would be the closest.
Yeah,
there.
I guess. Los Angeles, but then you go out to the desert for that, I guess.
Yeah, you got the fifth major, really, for Indian Wells. Ladies and gentlemen, Greg Peterson joins us now, courtesy of the Progressive Guest Line. You can follow him on Twitter at @GUnit_81. Greg, looking good, as always, in front of what would we call that? Like a light blue or a purplish background today?
Yeah, blue.
What's happening, Greg?
Not too much. It is blue, by the way. I could go more purple if you'd like. We always take recommendations, but we went with the blue today.
I respect, again, Greg, full coat and tie, also with slacks, every appearance on the network. Very much respect that. Before we get into your Fab Five of baseball plays, Kelley brought this up off air. You had done something earlier this summer on your Twitter about like accepting challenges. Give us an example of like the weirdest challenge you have fulfilled thus far.
All right, we are up to 43 running streak challenges. I've been taking one today. Some of them are very, very small, like you have to listen to heavy metal music or something like that. Drink this energy drink before you run or something like that. Our good friend Kobe Marcio does great work over at Covers. I know that he made quite a few appearances on the network over the weekend. He said you need to do your 12 miles inside your own living room. That has to be the weirdest challenge because you're sort of like taking 5 steps and it's like, oh, I'm at the end of my living room. I now need to turn around. So I was just doing like very, very little laps around my living room. That has to be the weirdest challenge thus far.
Honestly, how did you, I did see footage of that. How did you mentally get through that? Like, how many times did you say to yourself, I am ridiculous for doing this?
Oh, the entire time.
Yeah.
The entire time I'm just here like, why am I doing this? What has my life become? But you know what? We got the job done. And that's all that matters. And that's why it's a challenge. Because even though you're just here like, what the heck am I doing? I am a ridiculous human being. The challenge had to be completed, and the challenge was completed.
And so 12 miles indoors. So normally 12 miles outdoors takes you how long? And then how much longer did this take you?
Typically, I'm down to about 9-minute, 30-second miles, even with this heat. That one took me more than 2 hours for sure, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the exact time offhand, but that one was certainly much longer because you're turning around after like every 5 steps.
Did you even sweat on that one? Were you even moist at all?
Oh, yeah, you get in a nice little bit of a lather. Like, if you're doing 12 miles and plus, when it comes to inside as well, sometimes the AC is like hit or miss when it comes to Las Vegas because you either get it too cold or too hot. It's really hard to be able to get it just right in the summertime. It always does have a little bit of a residual effect. So I was still able to get a nice little bit of a lather.
Hope my interview with Jay Cohen later this week is this hard hitting.
I was sitting over here thinking, okay, we're going to workshop this throughout the show.
Uh-huh.
I haven't given my own challenge request yet to Greg, so I'm over here thinking and just kind of what could he look the silliest doing outside?
Will you have it in 5 minutes?
Yeah, I've got it right now though.
Oh, say it right now.
I don't know if Wyatt Tomchek can help me out with this. I think Greg Peterson in full football pads and jerseys with a football running 12 miles out on the Las Vegas just regular streets would be a really, really good look.
Okay, Greg, you accept?
I need to find the pads and the football first since I don't own them.
Yeah, I'll provide that, Greg.
All right, to baseball.
We need the equipment provided.
To baseball. Red Sox, Marlins. Red Sox, it ain't July, but they're having themselves a fine little August as well. They're up there with 13 wins this month as well. They're still 6 games out of the AL East lead. Still designs on that, certainly in the playoff picture. on the way looking out. Marlins on the outside looking in the National League. What are you doing with this ball game in Miami today?
Yep, I'm going to be looking at the money line here of the Red Sox, especially now that after it was overnight more like minus 130, minus 135, it's now down to minus 120, minus 125. But I also like the over. Sandy Alcantara, career low, 6.7 strikeouts per 9 innings. And Ranger Suarez is coming off the injury list, hasn't been sharp. 5 1/3 innings or fewer in each out of his last 5 starts. You do have a Marlins team that really doesn't have a lot of power, especially with Liam Hicks getting traded. But Red Sox lead the big leagues in terms of run creation ever since the All-Star break. So like the Red Sox here on the money line, and I'm taking that total to the over.
All right, Rockies and the Nationals. Neither team going anywhere anytime soon. Rockies are big dogs on the road in D.C.
Yep, but there's at the very least one pitcher that has been really shining. That'd be Kate Cavalli. He has been very good for the Washington Nationals recently. He's got his ERA down to a sub 335, over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings. Ryan Felder's not that. 1.9 home runs, 3.8 walks allowed per 9 innings. In his last 7 starts, he has went 33 innings and he has given up 33 runs. That is not a place where you want to be. These are 2 bottom bullpens in terms of ERA as well. With the Nationals, they should be able to get a lot more length out of Kate Cavalli. And I do think that this game is inducive to runs as well. So I do like the over, but that's up for the Nationals. I bypass the money line since it's very chalky, minus 170, minus 175. Think that they should be able to win this game by multiple runs. Laid a run and a half on the run line. Got that at a plus 120.
Texas Rangers are 1 game below 500. You know what that gets them? A tie for first place in the AL West. White Sox still hanging on in the AL Central. They still have a 3.5 game lead these days over the Guardians. How are you playing this one? Rangers at White Sox.
Now, if it was Texas Roadhouse, I would definitely be backing that. But instead, it's the Texas Rangers. We can't get on with that. No, I said okay. Texas Roadhouse. That was my joke right there. But I like Jose Urquidy. The form that he's in right now, he's been able to give you 2 rock-solid starts since being, I should say, just promoted up from the minor league level because he was down there for so long. But Kumar Rocker throughout his career, about a 5.93 ERA away from home. Rangers have really slid with their bullpen. It hasn't been that great. Meanwhile, for the White Sox, top 6 team in terms of bullpen ERA since July 1st. Additionally, top 10 team in terms of run creation, like the White Sox here on the money line.
Okay, Pirates at the Padres. We just went over the August numbers. Padres 1 win behind the Phillies. Padres still, one game behind the Phillies in the August numbers, that is. Padres still way back in the NL West now that the Dodgers have decided to play good baseball again. And man, did this season sort of, it hasn't gone in the toilet completely for the Pirates, but man, they had designs on big things, and now it seems like it's slipping away from them. This is a coin flip at Petco today.
Yeah, the pitching has been hit or miss. They haven't been able to win a Paul Skeens start to save their lives. And for Braxton Ashcraft, 4+ runs allowed in 5 out of his last 10 starts. Robbie Ray, low-key, in his last 11 starts, a sub-2 ERA, has rounded into form. Think that there might be a little bit of regression there, but Pirates have still been very shaky with their bullpen. And the Padres, since the All-Star break, averaging about 5.2 runs per game. Jackson Merrill, Fernando Tatis Jr. have been absolutely tremendous. Like that 7.5 total to the over. I do like the Padres. This is a relatively pick-em line to the money line.
Phillies trying to get there now, just 3 back in the NL East. And they have a 9-game winning streak going on. They're going to Seattle to take on the Mariners. Boy, the Mariners not doing anything. They're still like a few games back in the AL West and are just, when they lose, man, they have a couple games this month where they're just getting bombed, including this weekend. Mariners are an even money home dog here at T-Mobile.
To your point, the last 2 George Kirby losses, they lost by a combined score of 41-2. So not great to say the least there. Don't think that you get 19 runs here from the Phillies, but 6.5, too low of a total. Logan Gilbert at home, 4.91 ERA with about 1.8 home runs allowed per 9 innings. Zach Wheeler, 4+ runs allowed, and now 3 out of his last 4 starts. Took the Phillies on the money line at about a minus 110, and that total to the over of 6.5.
Red Sox Marlins over 7.5. Nats run line versus the Rockies. White Sox over the Rangers. Padres Pirates over 7.5. Phillies Mariners over 6.5. Greg Peterson's Fab 5. Greg, Texas Roadhouse, since you mentioned it, let's do it this weekend. Appreciate it.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Greg Peterson, everybody. Coming back, Country Clubbin next on A Numbers Game.
numbers game on VSiN, the sports betting network.
Back on a numbers game live from Circle Resort Casino, downtown Las Vegas. Gill Alexander. That right there is Kelley Bydlon, everybody.
Hey,
back from his trip, I should say his assignment in Nashville, Tennessee. Kelley was on assignment.
That's right.
Did your assignment go well? Yeah.
Went well. Went great.
Twitter. Gizzy, 1344. I think Greg wearing a hockey jersey with football pads and helmet on with a baseball glove would be a better look. My only issue with this is it's too hot out here. You guys are going to get him killed from heat stroke.
All right, so I'm going to give him some options.
Yeah.
What I'm really going for here, though, is you drove by somebody running and you had to do a double take and be like, what did I just see? That's what I'm going for here.
Yeah, well, he's going to do this. It's got to be less than triple digits.
The other thing, I have other ideas written down. Would you like to hear them?
Oh, please.
Like eating an ice cream cone while running would be hilarious because it would be dripping all over him. Someone would have to constantly refill an ice cream cone because he runs for 12 miles.
I nominate you.
That's fine. I would do it. I mean, it would be in a car or a golf cart or something, but I would be doing that. Anything else extremely childish? Like if Greg was just running down the street flying a kite, that would look hilarious to me. Or blowing bubbles, something like that.
It's a good kid, that guy.
It really is.
Can't wait for Texas.
I can't believe he's doing these.
Can't wait for Texas Roadhouse. And then Shrek says, you should see if that Eric Cohen guy is available for the U.S. Open Megapod. What he's referring to is my plays on Friday were listed under Eric Cohen, who I guess is a guest on another show on this network.
Oh.
We had Balik, who won as a plus 191 dog, but the weekend was tough. Lost on Pagula on Sunday. And then who did we lose on Nakashima Saturday. That wasn't fun. Again, today, the only two tennis plays, Sarasua, plus 250 versus Clara Towson, Dion Paris, plus 135 versus Donna Vekic. All right, you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Let's go Country Clubbin'. Let's go. Oh, yeah. I suppose I could have waited for the tennis picks on the other side of Country Clubbin', but I got other tennis things to talk about.
Can't get the picture of Greg flying a kite now out of my head.
Very excited. Very excited. So Friday on the show,
I totally missed this.
It was the first hour and the news came down. And this, by the way, this was a portent of things to come was on the prediction markets a few days earlier. Because Jannik Sinner's no participation in the U.S. Open just absolutely got pounded. So somebody knew something. And sure enough,
his participation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I think that was Kalshi that had that market. And then, Friday morning, first hour, it was announced officially by Jannik Sinner himself on his Twitter, I'm not playing my knee. My knee hurts. I believe was the exact words. And so it's Carlitos. And so I immediately said, run, bet Carlitos. But guess what? Later in the show, I also said, but if you're looking for a long shot, it'd be Rafa Hodar or Artur Fils. So Artur Fils went ahead and won Cincinnati. And so Alcaraz this is DraftKings. DraftKings is plus 195. A little bit of a tick up, it met resistance because I think people saw Fils and are like, oh boy. I mean, here's the thing. It is Carlitos who should be the favorite here. And you're seeing him as the short shot here at plus 195. By the way, I don't think that Alcaraz at plus 195 is universal. I think that's about the longest you'll see. A lot of people on Friday got him at plus 225. So he should be the short shot, but he's coming off a wrist injury. We haven't seen him play in 4 months. You never know, right? You never know. Still the best player in the world, not named Jannik Sinner. You never know, but have it in pocket. You'll be thrilled you have it come business portion of this tournament. The question then becomes, who else might be justifiable bets? I think Novak Djokovic is the first name. Novak Djokovic still trying to get that elusive 25th Grand Slam singles title. If he's ever going to do it again, or ever, this is his final shot. This is his final best shot. No Sinner, Alcaraz off 4 months, open field. Djokovic is 7-1. You can justify that. Can you justify Sasha Zverev at plus 350? I think that number's too short, quite frankly, but could he win it? Of course. Of course he could.
And Djokovic,
the fourth best player in the world, Sasha Zverev, if you give Novak third, which some people might not. Will this be the year that an American wins? If so, it's got to be Ben Shelton, one would think. 8-1. But I still go, as I said on Friday, with Hodar and Fils as the best bets. And these are down now. Remember, they were about 18-1-ish on Friday. Hodar's 12-1. We just don't know about him in best of fives. Remember, men's Grand Slams are best of fives, so we don't know if he can get through a whole 7 matches that way. He's 12-1. And Artur Thies, who just came off Cincinnati, do you believe that Thies can win Cincinnati and the U.S. Open back-to-back? I know people can justify other bets, too. João Fonseca's potential has never been realized. Daniil Medvedev won this tournament before. Some people like FAA. But to me, Alcaraz is still the justifiable short shot. If I were to play anybody else, it's either Hodar or Thies. Although Novak is tempting, man.
I was gonna say, I mean, this feels like I was trying to. Do you remember what his odds?
I just can't bring myself to do it.
Do you remember what his odds were? What at the French?
I don't.
With no Alcaraz, Sinner in.
Yeah,
I want to say they were somewhat similar. And this is a better surface for him, right? Or have we not gotten to that point in his career? As he's gotten older, has clay become better for him? Djokovic?
No, I think the hard courts is still his jam.
That's tempting to me.
Yeah.
Should Ben Shelton only be he should be that close to where Novak's at? I know he just won.
Yeah,
for him.
Ben Shelton on serve alone can get it all the way to the semis, you know? So it's just
these single digits.
Yeah, it doesn't excite me as much as Hodar and Thies do. I'm just saying this is a really, I mean, Alcaraz has got to bring it for sure. But I'm surprised that this didn't crash a little further, but I get it when Thies goes ahead and just stomps Cincinnati. Because it's going to be spread around a little more. And you don't know. After 4 months, you don't know with Carlitos.
Daniil's just not done anything all year, huh?
On the other hand, you could see Carlitos play the first week and just be like, oh, yeah, I'm glad I have this ticket. No one else is even closest to as good. It's as, let's put it this way. It's fun. You know, you want Sinner to get better. You obviously don't want his knee to be messed up. But from a betting standpoint, it becomes much more fun.
Yeah, just even from a casual tennis fan interest, right?
Yeah.
With all due respect, and I do mean with all due respect to the great Drew Dinsick, the joke has gotten a little tiresome of, like, oh, we're going to wait 2 weeks for the final for the tournament to start. Like, no, it would be nice to see one of these longer shots in action.
Women's side, Aryna Sabalenka, world number 1, is your short shot at plus 370. Iga's down to 5-1. She lost in the semis to Jessie Pegula after winning 10 matches in a row.
Oh, Jessie needs that money. Come on.
Jessie needs the money. She needs the cash. Iga's still the player to beat to me. Although Coco Gauff wins in Cincinnati, man, she's playing great tennis. She's 6-1. And then there's everybody else. Like, look, again, if Rybakina won, would you be shocked? Of course you wouldn't. Osaka, winner of 4 hard court slams. I just can't see it. Jessie Pegula at 11-1. Always in play, but I don't think she can win it. I don't think to be honest with you, the only other name on there that I would consider would be Amanda Anisimova.
Oh, I thought you were going to go Ayala.
At 20-1. No, here's the thing with Ayala. She's great. She's great for tennis. She's unbelievable how she manages to win matches. But she does not have the serve to win a slam, in my humble opinion. But man, is she fun to watch. Iga bets are in. We already have her at 7-1. That's the player. She's still the best player in the world. She's a truck. But I'd say there's about 4 or 5 here who could potentially win it. And their names are Swiatek, Gauff, Rybakina, Anisimova. Start with those 4.
Yeah, maybe
Aryna Sabalenka's got trouble between the ears right now.
Maybe it makes it a little bit more fun on the men's side being more wide open, but oh boy, this has just been a tough puzzle to solve seemingly all year on the women's side.
This is the weird year where like nobody you would think has won the slams. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Linda Noskova won Wimbledon, which you could see how she could potentially win, but most people wouldn't have predicted it. But it's been a really strange year. The big names have not won slams. Will Sabalenka get off the schneid? Will Swiatek get off the schneid? Will Gauff get off the schneid? In terms of slams, we shall see. How'd you do this weekend in golf, sir?
Oh, terrible. You're glad I wasn't here for it. Wes Reynolds coming up, though. I believe he hit Wyndham Clark at the BMW Championship.
Oh, nice.
I think he was in the winner without Scotty Scheffler market. But yeah, Wyndham takes home the BMW. Patrick Cantlay slides into solo second right at the end there. Patrick Cantlay, who whenever I think of the FedEx Cup playoffs, Gill Alexander, I think of Patrick Cantlay for some reason. It's like the only time here he shows up. Like, I thought he was going to possibly stumble into a victory yesterday. Didn't happen, though. Wild round. Wyndham Clark had a 5-shot lead to start the day, gave it basically all the way back, and then finally rallied. I think his first birdie came on 16. Finally, that had 3 great closing holes. Shut out Rory, goes on to win this. So we head over to East Lake in the Tour Championship. All wraps up this week. Top 30 in action. Scotty Scheffler, your short shot at 3-1.
Wes Reynolds coming up. Long Shots, the podcast, of course, tomorrow and every Tuesday out there. By the way, the standard sort of for Carlitos right now, I'm still seeing plus 150 consensus. That DraftKings number is pretty out there. Coming back, Wes Reynolds and more. Adam Burke, part of that more on A Numbers Game.